It's Lyndah Pizarro here, and thank you for joining me for my very first makeup tutorial. This video is for everyone who keeps asking me, how do you do your makeup? Who does your makeup? All that good stuff. What kind of makeup do you use? So this video is going to show you that. To answer one of your questions, I do my own makeup. I don't have a makeup artist. It'd be nice if I did though. But, everybody's saying that it looks like I have a makeup artist doing makeup. I appreciate that. That's a very good compliment. Thank you. The makeup that I choose to use is MAC. About 99% of everything I use is MAC. And MAC's really good, for camera work, in my opinion. A lot of people say that, MAC clogs their pores and that they break out and this and that and that, whatever. And I've been using MAC for years now, and I've never had that problem. Maybe you're just not washing your face right. That's really, really important to clean your face very well. Just maybe you just have sensitive skin. I don't know, but it really works well for me. One of the first things that I like to do before I put makeup on is, of course, you clean your face, and I apply a toner, and then I apply a moisturizer, oil-free, because I tend to have, oily T-zone, as most people do, but I tend to be oily here, so that's why I like to apply the oil-free moisturizer. And then I also like to mix in sunscreen with my foundation, not too much, just enough. Actually, my Studio Fix already comes with SPF 15, which is the minimum amount that they suggest to use SPF wise for your face. So that's what I use. When I apply, there's two ways I choose to apply. Do with my foundation brush. This is the 190 from MAC, or a sponge. Some people don't like to use a sponge. Either way really works for me. So if you have, your foundation, you can either do it this way or have a little pump. So this is from, this is for summer. As you can tell, it's a little darker. This is NC25, which I don't use right now because I'm not as tanned as I'd like to be. But I use NC15 most of the time. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of that on right now. So I don't have a pump for this one. Normally I do. So just go ahead and do that, and just dab it here and there and just spread it. Here we go. And be very gentle when you do this. A lot of people like to press when they apply their makeup, and it just really should not happen that way. Your skin on your face is very, very sensitive, very delicate in comparison to the rest of your body, especially underneath the eyes. Okay, and there's people out there that like to apply makeup with their fingers, which is fine, as long as your hands are clean. But one of the things you're supposed to do is actually use your ring finger for that, because it doesn't apply as much pressure, like as if you were using your middle finger or any other finger. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some all over the face. And ladies, don't cake it on. Less is more. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but those girls out there that like to cake their makeup on is not a good look. Another thing too that I like to use when the weather's, it's a little hot outside and you sweat, is their Prep and Prime, which I do have, and I'll show you in a little bit. I don't use it all the time because I actually don't need it all the time, only when it's hot outside. So, and it's not hot in here. I have the AC on, so just go ahead and do this right here. Go all over the face, blend. Alrighty. As you can tell, I'm very, very white. And the lights in here do not help me look any darker. So we'll get to that. Just get right here really well. Another thing too is you want to match your makeup like to your chest and to your neck. I see girls that walk around with, they have their makeup on, and you just can totally see like from here to here, like completely different. it's like orange, and you just not a good look. You'd want to do that. Yeah, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I've been guilty of that. So just go ahead and take care of this. We're almost done here. Alright, make sure you get your nose well, you know, just dab, be careful, you know. So we're pretty good right here, right? Pretty, you know, good all over the place. Pretty even. And a lot of people, you know, another thing too is your eyes are used to seeing your face, you know, without makeup or whatever. They're not used to seeing one color. So when you do this, you tend to look whiter than you really are. You know, so don't freak out. That's what blush and bronzer and all that stuff is for. Because your eyes aren't used to seeing your face like this, just one. So, yeah, unless you're really, really white like me, where it doesn't really make a difference. Alright. And then I have my Pro Longwear Concealer, which I like to put underneath my eyes. You can actually use a small little, you know, concealer brush or foundation brush. I like to use something like this. Here you go. This is my, oh crap, I rubbed the numbers off. It looks like it's a 212 right there. So I like to use that. And another thing too that a lot of people, crap, it's not coming out. This is the one thing with these little pumps. See, look, that's like way too much. So what I do is I actually put it on the top. Okay, so you don't want to overdo it with concealer either. So just a little bit, right underneath your eyes. Lightly, lightly. Be careful because you have really sensitive skin under your eyes. Okay, let it sit for a while. You know, give it a couple seconds to dry. Kind of, you know, thicken up a bit. And just, you know, go right through it. It's there. And I have the lightest one. They're NC15, so can't do much about that, huh? Can't go any whiter. There you go, you just get into it. And if you have any other little areas that you'd like to conceal, like for me, for example, you see that right there? Yeah, it's my worst enemy at the moment. So here you go, just a little bit. Don't overdo it. Remember, less is more. Just right there, let it dry over. If you have any other areas, you know, I like to sometimes put it over my cheeks, just a little bit. You know, just to conceal it a little more. That's just me. It's an option. You don't have to. That's another thing too. A lot of people are like, I don't know how to put makeup on and stuff like that. You know, you gotta play with makeup. I didn't know how to do this. You know how long it took me and how much money it took me to like finally get stuff together? Like, crazy, man, I'm telling you. And just, you know, sponge again. Dab it, kind of help blend it in. You can use a brush for this. So, here you go. Alright. There. Some people don't, you know, notice much right now at this point. But when you apply your powder, which I like to do, this is a mineralized skin finish. This is like key in my eyes to everything. This just totally changes my life after I apply it. Oh, getting makeup all over the place. And I like to put it on with this little buffer brush. This is, gosh, I've had these for so long. I can't even see the numbers. But it's a 187? 107 or 187. But that's this brush right here. So just, you know, dab, swirl, whatever you want to do. And just apply. And be, you know, gentle. Don't overdo it with powder either, because if you start to sweat or just, you know, throughout your day, and once again, if you have that problem, put that prep and prime on. Just put this on, you see, and it just totally gives you like a nice matte finish. I don't like to be shiny. I prefer not to be, but you know bronzers and stuff too. So just, you know, little here, little there, blending, blending, blending. And if you'd like to wear earrings, make sure you take them off before you put makeup on, because I tend to like get makeup on my earrings, and that's no bueno. So you see how white I look right now? Yeah, this is how white I am. Look at that. Remember I told you about matching this and this? Look at that. Totally white. This is not that white. This is really white. Look like a ghost. So this is what I go through on the daily. Now, bronzer time. bronzer is your best friend. At least it's mine. I use their bronzing powder, and this is, let's see, golden. And I use this little MAC compact brush. It's 1288. You know, I'm telling you, you can't see the numbers anymore on any of my brushes. So I just apply here. And how I like to do it is I like to start right here with the jaw. Right here. Just get all up in there, you know. And then around here. Gotta give yourself some color. So you don't want to go outside scaring people in the middle of summer, right? See how it's giving me color right there? There we go. See, it don't look so white anymore. It's not helping, is it? But yeah, so you look get it right in here. And then blend into your neck, of course. And I like to just get, you know, this area right here. Just basically around the face and into the neck. A lot of people like to contour. You can do that. Give yourself, you know, some definition here, you know. And the way you do that is you add a little more right into the cheekbone. Some people are like, how do I know? Do this. Right there. Where I'm putting this brush, that's where you do that. Your cheekbones are up here, okay? So, that's just what I do. Alright, so we're pretty bronzy. Get some on your nose if you want. And another thing too is some people on camera, you know, like to make their nose look thinner. The way you can do that is you can apply some of this bronzer right here, you know, simple eyeshadow brush. Apply some bronzer on the side of your nose like this. It makes it look thinner on camera. I actually haven't done that in a while now that I think about it. See how it made it look like when I did that? I'm okay with my nose. I really don't have a problem with it, so I really hardly ever do that. Just a tip. I want to throw it out there. Alright. So remember when I told you like 99% of the stuff I use is MAC. Some other stuff I use is actually Too Faced. I really, really like Too Faced stuff. So this is their little trio thing. So you can tell I've like used it till it's almost gone. And this is the blush that I use from them. It's called Candy Leopard. And this is, I don't know where I got this brush. This isn't a MAC brush. But a MAC brush that I do like to use for blush is this one. Yeah. So we're going to get in there. So if you don't want too much blush, use this brush and just lightly and gently. See how it's giving barely any color? I don't want to do too much, right? That's what you want, just a little bit here and there. But, you know, I do camera, so that's not an option. I can do this, swirl it a little bit. We don't want to put too much either, because I've seen girls that are like, and it's just like not cute. So you just do that. And here's your jawbone up here. See that? That's how I do it, babies. That is how I do it. Alright, just swirl a little bit. Lean back into the line. Here we go, here we go. Some people like to do it way over here only and don't like to bring it into, you know, their face as much. That's nice too. Remember, it's all about playing around with the makeup and figuring out what you like and what looks good with you. Not what, you know, what I say or anything. It's like, you know, it's not about that. As long as you're happy, I'm happy. And the most important person in the world to be happy is you. Remember that. Alright, cool. So we've blushed it up. Now, eyebrows. Uh-oh. What do I do with it? Here we go. I have this eyebrow brush. I like to, first of all, clean up my eyebrows. You know, no, you don't always have time to go and get them threaded or whatever. These you can get at the 99-cent store, you guys. 99-cent store. Basically just clean up around right here, which I did prior, so I'm not going to do it now because I'm scraping all my makeup off. So that's one of those. And then there's a little brush I got at Target. I think I paid like $2 for it. So just brush your eyebrows out just a little bit, you know, keep them in line, keep them in order, you know. Alright. And the other end I really don't use because they're not as close together as I'd like them to be. And I'll show you later with my mascara, the brush that the mascara comes with, actually I don't really have a clumping problem, which is really nice. So yeah, so we'll get that. This eyebrow stuff, I mean, you can use an eyeshadow, you can use whatever, it doesn't specifically have to be for your eyebrows. This is actually eyeshadows. See that? Check that out. And it's called The Best of Broadway. It's by NYC, 815A. So when I use this top one up here. Yeah, you can't really, well, you can tell I've been using it a lot, so. And I like to use that too for a smoky eye. That'll be another tutorial. Smoky eye. And just with the little brush that it comes with, just, you know, apply some powder on your eyebrow. And there you go. See, look at that. You don't gotta pencil them in. I used to pencil them in, you know, instead of using powder. But, I don't know, I just like the way this looks. You know, maybe in the future I'll switch it up. As long as I'm not using a Sharpie, right? Alright, cool. So get this in there, give your eyes some, you know, some shape. And that's really good too. The pencil is really good also for if you have eyebrows that you don't like their shape or your hair doesn't grow wherever you want it to grow. Then I would use the eyebrow pencil to give it some shape. So there you go. I don't like really thin eyebrows either on my face because I just think I look weird. Look scary. I'm like, alright. So that's that. See? Eyebrows. Alright. Get your brush again. You know. Make sure it's in there right. Make sure all the powder's in there good. You know. Wipes off any excess powder because you don't want to look too crazy either. Alright. Next for me is lips. Now you see how I have the powder actually on my lips? Or what I like to do sometimes also is I put chapstick on and then wipe it off with, you know, either the back end of this, because these are one-time use only. I do not recommend reusing sponges. Not exactly the cleanest thing, in my opinion. So, you know, you lick it, dab it off, look, you know, there you go, dabbing it, dabbing it, dabbing it. Take it all off, look, it's gone. There you go. That's just how I do things around these parts. Now, for lipstick, anything really, or if you just want to use this, it's their Prep and Prime Lip. If you have a red lipstick that you love and you don't want it to feather, any lipstick, if you don't want it to feather, this is the answer to that problem. There you go. So I'll put that back in there. So that mascara I was talking to you about, believe it or not, one of the things I don't use for MAC is their mascaras. Not that they're not good or anything. I don't know, I just found this a lot easier to use. Call me crazy. Their Plush Lash is really good, or X. The X mascara is really good for MAC. But I like this one. And this is the Voluminous Million Lashes. I don't know. I bought it before, you know, J-Lo was pushing it. Because I like their brush. See? Here's a little trick. Have you seen girls, or any girls, if you do this, I don't even want to do it to my mascara, but you like pump it, you know, don't do that. You're putting air inside of your mascara and you're actually drying it out quicker. And that actually causes more clumps. Yeah, you don't want to do that. So I'm going to get close here, move all this stuff aside, and see my eyelashes? There you go. Put them up, right? Put it here, and roll your brush out. It's all about the roll. Look at that. You can wiggle it a little bit, just wiggle. Look at that. See, that's gorgeous. No need for false lashes here. Unless you have really short lashes and you just feel better using them that way, that's fine. No problem. I'm not mad at that. So here you go. Be careful to get your eye or any hair. So, see that? Trying to help you out. Try not to get mascara all over the place. Another thing too, what happens if I'm doing this and get mascara? Let it dry first before you do anything, because then it smears. Let it dry, chill out, go about your business, doing the rest of your face. Okay? Another thing too is when I go to the second eye, I don't do that again. I actually finish using what's left over on here. So we're just gonna do that. Roll and wiggle, ladies. Roll and wiggle. And you can apply that to different aspects of your life. Alright. Okay. So, you see? And you can go over, you know, I like to go over twice. Some people don't. I do. You know, tomato, tomato. That whole thing. So this one comes out like that. You know, you don't really do much to that one. And then here we go. Rolling, rolling, wiggle, rolling. Oh, this computer's hot. I'm starting to feel the heat, man. The video that long? Alright. Now, this is another thing that some people don't like to do because they have this problem with the mascara or eyeliner when they apply it, the bottom lash, the bottom line, the bottom lid, whatever you want to call it. They say it, you know, it falls, it crumbles, or whatever you want to use. I don't have that problem with this one. Best mascara ever. So, yeah, I like to apply very lightly, ladies. You don't gotta go you literally barely have to like touch these bottom lashes. Look at that. Remember, less is more. Unless you have a photo shoot or something going on. That's a different story. There you go. Yeah. Feel free to use the eyelash curler, you know, to bring out your lashes a little more. And that's what I do. There you go. See that? See what I'm talking about? See how it's different still? Still gotta blend. You do not want this. No, you don't want that. So just keep blending, ladies. You can also, you know, bring the foundation down to your neck. Whatever you want to do. Some people do that. I have done that. I don't like to do it. But, you know, I do it. So that's how I put my face on. Put the mask on, but take the mask off. That's what I say. This is how I put my face on. You guys saw my before. Here's my after. I'm not ashamed. You shouldn't be either. So, just keeping it real. You want reality? There it is. My favorite lip gloss right now, this is like finishing touch. Those of you who follow me on Facebook and Twitter, you guys saw when the Tokidoki line came out from MAC. I was like one of the first people to go run and buy it. And who doesn't love Tokidoki, right? This one is my favorite. It's called Girl Heart Boy. Girl Loves Boy, basically. And I love pink, first of all. And then this just totally brings out colored eyes. It really does. So if you have colored eyes out there, even those of you that don't, it's alright. There you go, look at it. And don't overdo it with the lip gloss either, you guys, because seriously, I've seen girls and they walk around and they have like it all over the edges right here, like clumped or like little pools of lip gloss, and it's like, that is not a cute look. Nobody wants to be like, hey, and you're like, drooling. Not cute. There it is. There's my face. Hope you like it, because I love it. And if you don't, oh well. And if you watch this video, thank you for the little view, and I hope that it helped you out. If there's anything else you want me to try, feel free to send me a message, dearlyndah@gmail.com. This is my first makeup tutorial, so my next one I want to show you guys how to do the red lip. Red lip is my favorite. So you guys keep looking for that video. Stay tuned. I'll let you guys know. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Miss Lyndah. And if you haven't added me on Facebook or liked my fan page, go and do that. Facebook.com/Lyndah Pizarro. Alright, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you loved it. Because I do. Love you guys. Bye.